Utah's best coverage of the Utes, Cougars, Jazz, and Mammoth. Here we go. From the guys who have been there for all the biggest moments in Utah sports history. You're listening to DJ and PK on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
The KSL Sports Zone of Beehive Meals are honoring people that impact youth sports in our communities. Nominate the youth sports volunteer for the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week at KSLSports.com/contest. Question up on our Facebook page, as fresh as the most recent round of talk shows and podcasts. Joel Klatt predicts Texas Tech will beat BYU in the Big 12 title game again this season. Would that make BYU's season a disappointment? Vernon, Joel Klatt can shove it. BYU's not playing Texas Tech. I think it'll be Houston, Arizona, or Utah.
Well, it's even worse. Houston versus Arizona? Or is he saying BYU will play Houston or Arizona?
He's saying Texas Tech will play Houston or Arizona or Utah.
Oh, okay.
And he is, I believe I'm going to click on this and find out he might be a Ute. Well, a lot of Santa stuff. Hard to tell.
Well, that would be even worse if they did not make it. If you think that not making the playoff makes the season a disappointment.
Dave, I'd love to see Joe Klatt eat some crow. Because you don't cash in on all your preseason predictions. You eat crow?
Yeah.
Okay. Crow it is.
It's all metaphoric.
Serve it up.
Sure. You don't think players and teams and fans use preseason slights if they're perceived as motivation?
I think most of us forget 3 months later. I think this stuff is
saying 3 months later.
Fun
it's
at
now.
the time. Yeah, but we don't have the answer now. By the time we have the answer,
no
I think
kidding.
Most of us
If we have the
forgotten.
answer, then it's not a prediction. Duh.
By the time we have the answer, I think people forget the prediction.
No. Heck no.
Mark says false. Cougs win. He believes BYU will get it done.
Well, rather than focus on the prediction, is the season a disappointment if they do not make the playoff?
Jared has nuance and context to his answer. He says it all depends on how the regular season shakes out. Looking right now, yes, they got to get that Big 12 title. But if they're 12-0, they lose the title game and make the playoff, it's still a successful season. No playoff, no title, that's a repeat of 2025. Which I believe he's saying would be a disappointment to have a repeat. There are other paths to the playoff. Or at least one
it's
other
hard
path
to
the
call
playoff.
out a disappointment if they go 12-0.
Right.
But is that possible? We're going to have two 12-0 teams?
Seems unlikely, but it's certainly possible since they're not playing each other. And you look at Tech's schedule. I mean, could it happen? Sure. I mean, that BYU's got to win a couple of enormous games, but
who doesn't?
Right. I mean, it's pretty unlikely. I mean, you look around and it just doesn't seem to happen.
I mean, you look at their schedule, but yet we wouldn't say someone eats crow on a prediction. Your schedule, your forecast of their schedule is nothing but a prediction.
Yeah.
So it holds just as much weight, but somehow you think it holds more weight. It doesn't.
I think we are expected to make predictions. It's what people do to pass the time in August. But I think the vast majority of people know there's way too many variables to think you're going to get all these right. And if you do, you're probably a little on the lucky side or a lot on the lucky side.
So that's why I don't get into the schedule. But somehow when we talk about the schedule, it's not viewed as a prediction. It's viewed as a fact. When the reality is, it is nothing more than another prediction.
It's another prediction, right. And for Texas Tech, the prediction is you don't play either of the locals. You're not playing BYU. You're not playing Utah. And they don't have a marquee non-conference game.
Says who?
Says people making predictions about the season.
That's all they are.
Yep.
Now, I can buy the non-conference of Abilene Christian and Oregon State and Sam Houston. Okay, but
you don't know about the rest of the league. And maybe Houston is awesome. Maybe Oklahoma State's going to have lightning in a bottle and have a great year. You're right. These predictions could be wrong.
Right.
Could be your Devils. Who's to say? Who knows? TCU's on their schedule. A bunch of teams could take off.
So that's why I don't say that they have a lousy schedule. And you didn't even mention Arizona.
It did not.
Which
right.
could be
another one.
A top 10 team in the country for all we know. So stop saying their schedule.
Their schedule.
Because there's no meaning to it.
Just on the face of it, we would both pick against anybody going 12-0, let alone two teams going 12-0.
Oh, I always do.
Right.
I never pick anybody to go undefeated. It's just too much. Some teams do it, obviously, but I wouldn't pick it. Things in football, what
crazy
a crazy
stuff
ball,
happens.
The way it bounces.
Yeah.
Injuries are such a significant factor in this sport, given the nature of people smacking each other every single play. I mean, injuries factor into everything, but you're going on probability level, and there's more probability level in this particular sport.
Mark opens up another path here. He says, in my opinion, if BYU beats Notre Dame and gets the Big 12 title game, they're getting into the playoffs no matter what. So the thought that an 11-2 team, say they go 11-1, they beat Notre Dame, but they lose a conference game somewhere, and they lose a conference title game at 11-2, and they've been left out with a couple of two-loss teams here the last 2 years. But Mark thinks this year that Notre Dame win and get them in. So there's another potential path.
There's plenty of paths. Every school has plenty of paths. But will they get it done? Sure, if you beat Notre Dame, and then if you beat this team, that team, name the teams. If you beat them, I like the more wins you have, the better chance you have. Who knew?
See? Joe Klatt predicting Texas Tech beating BYU again in the Big 12 title game. Would that make BYU's season a disappointment? And Jordan says no. That means they probably beat Utah to get to the Big 12 title game. And for Jordan wants a win in the rivalry game.
Yeah, but beating Utah, I mean, what? Why is that so special?
It's a rivalry game, and it matters to Jordan, I guess. I click on this. Jordan studied at Utah State University. So,
they've beaten him 3 years in a row.
And that, in Jordan's mind, makes them successful seasons. I get it's not enough for everybody, but it's enough for some people, and apparently Jordan's one of them.
So they can go 5-7 with a win over Utah, and that's a successful season.
That might be too much. He doesn't weigh in on that scenario.
He says if you beat Utah, I only go by the words he uses. As an aficionado of the language, that's what I go by.
I don't think a losing record will do it for most people. So then you got him at 5-7.
All right, 6-6. Is that better for you?
It is better, but it's probably not good enough.
It's not what he says.
Kirk, yes, that would be a disappointment losing to Tech because the Cougars are supposed to win the national championship every year. Oh, Kirk, with the overstatement.
Just once. Something you have never done.
Never. Ever. Michael says, no, it's not a disappointment. It means they just fulfilled expectations.
Aren't expectations to go to the playoff?
I believe Michael does not believe that's the expectation. Might be the hope. But the expectation is it'll be Tech and all their money.
Sorry, well, I can't speak for Mike, but isn't that the whole idea of what Kalani's talking about?
Yes.
Because if he was talking about just having a repeat of last season or even the season before, then why bring up all this stuff that's caused so much conflict?
Yep.
And I'm talking to people about it yesterday and what they're doing with Santiago and what he has jurisdiction over, and is Kalani going to report to the VP and blah, 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 blah. If last season is the bar, well, then they have enough resources to reach that bar. So by their own acknowledgement, by him repeatedly talking about it here,
Kalani wants a conference title. Kalani wants a berth in the playoffs, and Kalani's going to want to win when he gets to the playoffs. I think that is something that you can pull from his public statements, not just during this summer camp here, but you can go back last spring, you can go back to that press conference in December. I think it's pretty consistent. He wants a conference title, he wants a spot in the playoffs, and he wants to win once he gets there.
So they are talking more. They're not satisfied with, I would be satisfied with 12-2. Pretty good season to me if I'm a BYU fan. But I get you want more. Everybody wants more. But your realism of getting more has to factor in. And I'm not so sure that that's realistic, but that's what they're shooting for. They're talking about, if you give me more money, I will do this. I think they ought to just give more money, and then that puts them on notice. They gave you more money, big guy.
What are you doing with it?
What'd you do with it?
Right.
Yeah. So that's one way. You want to keep them quiet? Just give them the money, and then at the end, if you don't go, then, well, you just wasted our money. You give me back money.
Give me back my money.
I mean, that's what they should do.
Do you think a lot of this is built on the quote, which lives on and we quote all the time, we will not be outbid? That, I mean, I love the energy and I love the enthusiasm and I love the willingness to write big checks, but the fact is there's more energy, more enthusiasm, and bigger checks in other places, and you will be outbid.
No, because I think that was strictly for basketball,
hoops.
And that's the tension that he went and asked for more for an assistant, and they didn't give it to him. And then Kevin Young went and asked more for an assistant, and they gave it to him.
And there it is.
And they want to see, the football people want to see the financials from the basketball, and they're not seeing them. That's
the heart of the matter.
Yeah, yeah. And you didn't believe it? I don't care if you don't believe it. Don't believe it. I'm going to have this job until I don't want it anymore, unless I come on here and drop a bunch of F-bombs.
Ew.
And I'm like you. I just reserve them for off air.
Nice.
People know I say them. For you, they think you don't.
Ha! Get out on a golf course with me, people.
Get out of the studio with you.
Yeah, the hallway's good enough. 4.
So
Playing through.
Yeah, you 4 of them in a half a minute.
On a slow day.
So I think that's the problem. That's the essence of the problem here. And they were supposed to have a lunch-in with Kevin Young and haven't heard anything about it. And
might not be the best time to have a luncheon with Kevin Young in the media.
Yeah.
Could be a bunch of questions you'd rather not answer.
But Young...
he's had a couple of them the last couple summers.
Yeah, the first 2 years. This is classic Utah. I know a guy who is has a family member in Kevin Young's ward, so he tells me stuff.
All right.
The Kohler thing I told you last week is Tuesday, and I was going out of town, and they're going to get him. Oh, okay, great. And because he's told people, and that's part of the problem why they had to go on the Cougar board thing, is because the coaches in football heard that they were going to make a change at the top, and somebody told somebody, and somebody told somebody else, and they ran to the message board and put it out there, and that's how that thing blew up, if you're interested. And away you go, and they're going back and forth, taking shots at one another. So you got that out there. But, yeah, that's the issue. It's not – that quote was not made for football. It was made specifically for basketball. And that quote got back to those guys. And that's been a sticking point long before that quote was ever uttered. And then I wrote how I put it on there at KSL a good while back, and boy, I got lit up on that, how there's some racial component in there with a Polynesian coach and not being smart enough. And people don't want to hear that stuff because it stings, and it's not our way at the image-conscious university. Norm Chow had to deal with that. So it's out there. And you don't like it?
It's not
by
going
all means, take as many shots at me as you want.
And it's not going away.
I'm fine with it. But these are all things that I've been told repeatedly over years. So that's the problem there. And they got to get these guys in a room and settle this thing. But as I understand it, I was also told that Brian and Kalani were on the practice field yesterday talking to each other. So maybe it is overblown to an extent.
Is there enough money to give both programs everything they want? Or is it there'll always be one more thing?
Well,
that's not the nature of it.
See, that's what I've been talking about for years, or not for years, for weeks. If you are trying to catch up, you're falling behind. It's not about catching up. It's about staying ahead. Simply catching up, by its definition, will force you to fall behind, because the other guy then, who you're trying to catch up to, is increasing it. And you got Cody Campbell saying, we're going to double down right after they get embarrassed by Oregon. So if that's the case, you're already falling behind. So what are you going to be able to do? What's the standard? If it's Texas Tech, no. I don't see it.
Because their 33 million is going
LSU,
to turn into 43.
You're not going to do it. I mean, LSU's going to have a guy on the basketball team who was signed by the Jazz to a two-way and didn't play last year in college. Now he's going to go back. He's going to be 24 years old a week into the season. That's what they're trying to do. Are you willing to do all of that? Or do you need to do all that? I mean, administration in Provo might be saying, man, we went 12-2. How much more do you want? And he wants more. And if, the good thing for them is if you don't get more and you don't get to the playoff, well, we didn't get more. What do you want from me? Whereas if you got more and you didn't get to the playoff, well, then it's on you. Right now, by Kalani saying what he's saying, he's putting it on the administration. Don't put it on me, right? He's said this multiple times. It's on them. They're not keeping the promises. I can only do so much. We've been charged with doing more with less. So I'm not saying he's doing this, but that's the perception that people could easily take. Wow, aren't we really good as coaches? Look at us. We're doing all this. We beat Utah 3 years in a row. And we're doing more with less. Aren't we something? Now, I'm not saying that's what he's trying to say, because I don't believe that's what he's trying to say. But that can be deducted or concluded. And if you got more and you didn't get over the hump, well, then it's on you.
So maybe he needs to be careful how he defines it. Don't ask for more. Say we have to catch Texas Tech. Because they could give you more. To your point, you could get $5 million more. But if Texas Tech gets $10 million more, well, now you're.
Well, but you're never going to battle them. And clearly, the Sorsby thing told you everything you needed to know, and that really wasn't about money. That was no matter what it looks like, what appearances there are, we are going to. We don't
care. Yeah, we don't care.
We're going to try to win as much as we possibly can. And we're going to take a kid who's gambled on games. But. It doesn't matter. I mean, he could have bet. They probably would have done it if he would have bet on his team to lose. Well, he didn't play in that game. He was just a red shirt.
The kid needs our help.
Yeah. They've already shown you which side of the line you're going to be on. And that is win at all costs.
So how quickly do they get to 40, 50, 60 million? Since it's all
quickly
costs.
As they need.
And they're billionaires.
Well, you don't bid against yourself.
Yes, but the Oregon game tells them they're still a long way away.
That's why I said they're going to double down.
They can't hang with
Oregon. So if they had a
$20
million, that means $40 million if my math is correct.
And they were at 38 until Sorsby dropped them back to 33. Right?
And so if they'll continue next year and so forth. And just keep going until they get it. And then if they should get it, as Scotty Scheffler said, well, now what?
You have a parade, your phone blows up, and then as Pablo Mastroeni told us after he won a league title, it's like a week after it was all done, well, then everyone had texted him. They looked around like, what do I do now?
Right.
I guess I go back to the gym and turn the thing on the incline and start running on the treadmill. Get ready
Winning
for next
is
season.
the ultimate, but it's also overblown.
Because a week after you've done it, wash, rinse, repeat.
Yeah.
Start again.
Unless you're like a Jordan or a Tom Brady and you've won.
And you do it
and Bill
3
Russell,
times, 4 times, 5 times.
And so then you ascend to status that few have. And those are what we recognize as the GOAT and the GOAT. And so you could prance around and you have that. But now you're asking to achieve something even beyond simply winning. And do you think Jordan wakes up every day? Oh, I'm the GOAT. At some days, it's got to be, man, today's a boring day. Just like the rest of us.
Got to go to the golf course, and to make it exciting, got to put down a bet.
Yeah, but
and
you
find
can't do that
somebody
every single day.
Man. You can after you sell the Hornets.
And then what you can, but you can't.
I know.
We're not talking financially able. Apparently, you thought that was funny, but financial.
Well, you used to have something else to do. And you used to have something to do
at 8 o'clock at night, you ain't golfing. What are you doing then?
Rewatching your documentary, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
And in 10 years, what are you doing after that? So even that can we all have to live life. And if you're chasing after that, you're going to end up being empty. It's what Scheffler was talking about. And then you chase after stuff, and look at the stuff Tiger chased after.
And you end up happy. He didn't look happy when he stepped to that podium and started apologizing for everything. Yeah. He looked humiliated.
Right. So you got all that stuff there, and you just keep trying to. That's what it said yesterday. You got to enjoy the experience, enjoy the ride, and that's where the happiness is in. Not if the happiness is derived by a final score of a scoreboard athletic competition, you're going to be way more miserable than you're happy. I don't know why people would do that, but yet I know there's millions and trillions who do. Even as a kid, it never really made sense to me.
DJ PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Frank Dolce talking Utah football at the top of the hour. Stay with us right here on The Zone.